Okay, I'm going to finish up my reading in the book of Philippians chapter 4. And I only really read verse 6. And Paul says here, be careful or anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto YAHUAH. And the peace, or the shalom, the peace of YAHUAH, which passes all understanding, shall keep or protect your heart and mind through Yahushua HaMashiach. See, you're wanting peace in your life. You want the peace of YAHUAH, then you do what the scripture says right here. Don't be anxious. You know, you can resist being anxious. You can cast all your care upon Him. 1 Peter chapter, I can't remember, 1 Peter chapter 5, or verse 7, I think, or 8. Anyway, it says, casting the whole of your care, all your anxieties, all your worries, all your concerns, once and for all on Him. For He cares for you affectionately and cares about you watchfully. See, when we're tempted, you know, one of the biggest temptations that you really and I face, whether you recognize it or not, is the temptation to worry and to be fretful. The scripture declares that we're not to fret or be anxious about anything. And you might say, well, that's impossible. Well, no, you can take the word of YAHUAH. You can, when you're tempted, you and I are tempted to worry and be fretful and be anxious and being just overwhelmed with our circumstances. It really is a sign of unbelief. And it may be, of course, it could also be just ignorance. You may not know that there's provision made through the word of YAHUAH for you and I to have all our needs met and taken care of. Paul wrote, says, my YAHUAH shall supply all your need according to His riches in Yahushua HaMashiach. It says in the book of Galatians, I believe chapter 5, that it's the will of YAHUAH to deliver us from this present evil world. In other words, He's made provision to deliver us from all the evil. Do you remember the prayer that Mashiach gave? Most people refer to it as the Lord's Prayer, but it's really, you know, it's our example that YAHUAH gave to His disciples. In that prayer, He says, deliver us from evil. Praying to the Father. He's talking about the evil that we face on the earth. And so there's provision made for you and I, but you have to know that, and you have to believe that. And if you believe, YAHUAH is faithful to watch over His word to perform it. He says that in His word, that I watch over my word to perform it. But it's to those that believe. And that's important for you and I to understand. Verse 8 says, finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue and if there be any praise, think on these things. Do you know you can make yourself think upon these things that are good, that are true, that are honest, that are just, that are lovely, that are of good report. See, Paul's telling you now what to think about. You know, if you're filling your head with a bunch of bad news and surround yourself with a bunch of negative people, then, you know, your thoughts are going to be focused upon those negative thoughts and ideas. And Paul says that we're to think on those good things. And if you do, you'll keep and protect your heart as well. There's nothing that can bring more comfort to you than to meditate and think about what the scripture has to say. May these words help you today, encourage you, and we'll see you on our next broadcast. Shalom.